ОЗЕРО, back to Ukraine and Moldova in 2024. Chapter 3, ОЗеро, Lake. Please take your time and read this first disclaimer. Thank you. Here is a second disclaimer about reporting vlogging Ukraine during martial law. Lastly, before certain criticism, a special disclaimer. And here is a quick map to show all the places I've been to in this video. Every single person has some questions which need an answer. And to get to the bottom of these answers, sometimes it'll take you time, planning, and much more. The story I'm going to explain very soon actually defines two things. First, how emblematically I can be stupid, and second, how much I'm eager to get to an answer to questions I have in my head. Before that, I actually had some of the many intermediate stops, as you probably got from previous videos. And the first intermediate stop was to get to Vitachiv, a village around 60 kilometers away from Kyїv, where actually I was recommended to go for two things. First of all, just to adore this wonderful view of the Dnieper River, which is to me still one of the most beautiful panorama places I've probably ever seen in my life. And second, to enjoy the nearby Pękarnia Vitachiv, which has been recommended me by my friend Eugenia, and which actually is incredibly tasty.
Micio. Ciao. Ah.
After a quick breakfast in Vitachiv, it was time to take the roads again, and of course, in my own best style, there was another intermediate stop. The stop was actually in Kyїv, and it was not just a regular stop, it was a stop at the museum tomb of Taras Shevchenko. This place since 1861 hosts the tomb of Ukrainian poet Taras Shevchenko on Chernivtsi Hill, currently known as Taras Hill, just a bit outside of the city of Kyїv. During the 1930s, the museum entitled to Taras Shevchenko and the monument you are seeing were erected. At the end of 1980s, actually, this was included in the list of World Heritage List of Ukraine, but later it didn't got the status and it just kept the national one. And later on, since the 90s, this was included in the Taras Shevchenko National Reserve. I also have to admit that this place on Taras Hill offers a wonderful panoramic view on the river Dnieper. To be added, also the fact that the tomb and the statue are on a mound make it the whole Shevchenko tomb very peremptory. In the museum, there are different types of art expression, either dedicated to the figure of Taras Shevchenko or to the current events of war. And despite having had the chance to witness the greatness of this museum and having met also a class of students doing an educational visit there, this, as much as it sounds preposterous, was not the ultimate goal for which I rented a car that day. I went back on the road and I headed to my main destination of the day, Cherkasy. I guess you're probably wondering right now why exactly Cherkasy, why exactly you were on the shore. And actually the answer sometimes can be either more difficult to answer or more stupid to explain. Many years ago, out of a stupid dilemma I had with a specific person, I was actually wondering if a particular area of Ukraine could have been defined as a lake. In 2017, a very stupid question of mine, just driven out from my curiosity while opening Google Maps and roaming on the map of Ukraine, led to a very huge dilemma. Was this place a lake or just River Dnipro? My choice was of course lake. The choice of a person was of course River Dnipro. This led to me organizing a poll on a social media asking people about what they feel about this, and the majority of votes actually chose River Dnipro. Despite the results of the poll, I knew deep inside that one day I had to go there, debunk in public this place as a lake, and
bello laghetto,
denounce
bello.
the myth of being River Dnipro. And that's what I did. And here comes possibly the greatest statement I will ever made in my own life.
Okay, after almost 7 long years, I can finally say that, yeah, this is a lake, not a river. I was right all along. Yeah, it's a Pyrrhic victory, but well, it's one of the most precious one of my own entire life. And yeah, what more can I say? I know it's called the Reservoir of Kamy'anets, the city down there. But since there's not official name to it, in my heart I would keep it as ОЗЕРО Luca, the Lake Luca. And yeah, I highlighted here. It's important to me, and we're here. So yeah, it took a long story in my life to get here. A lot of sleepless nights, but yeah, now I can sleep better at night. And I know for sure that the truth has been revealed despite whatever result of the poll was. So yeah, congrats to everybody who believed in the lake option. Thank you guys. But yeah, no river. Sorry Dnipro. I know you're part of this, but not officially you're Dnipro. Yeah, and I also see the dam over there, so completely an hydroelectric lake or reservoir. Okay, fine, but yeah, lake. It's a great Pyrrhic victory again, but very important one. And I want to thank my parents, which are scared because I'm here. My friends, the people who believe this is a lake. Yeah, I don't know how many else, but yeah, it's one of the most beautiful days in my life, and yeah, I will cherish this moment forever.
The very same day, I actually decided to take it to social media to provide the needed update after 7 years, but yeah, in the end, I was indeed right. On the way back from Cherkasy to Kyїv, I actually put an intermediate stop to go see a wonderful church on River Dnipro, not knowing that this church and trying to get there would have led me to an even greater adventure. From the city of Pereyaslav, actually, Google Maps tried to recommend you two types of road to get to this famous church. Of course, the one you see right now in blue actually is the one I took, the fastest one, but the one which everybody should rightfully take is the second one, the one you're seeing right now. Sadly, taking this first option, despite I should have zoomed before, led me to a series of fields and unpaved roads, and led my rented car, into a 30 centimeters deep pond. While Google Maps tried to kill me, Google Translate was actually helpful as I was able to communicate with a local farmer to ask for a tractor to pull out the car I rented. I owe my life, and especially the life of a rented car, to a farmer in the village of Kovalyn. I don't know if you'll ever see this video, but I owe you a lot, and God bless you. Without shoes, but with my feet full of mud because of that tractor experience. So to get to the church, it was basically impossible. Yeah, but I also have a video.
Did you send it to
No, I think she will probably ban me from every social media. As you probably know from the second video, I actually need to go, and I had a night train from Kyїv to Odesa. Yeah, that's good. I really want to sleep. I can't. As I've said in the previous video, I had around 8 hours to visit Odesa. I didn't want to stay for obvious security reasons, and as I also said in that video, probably that was the best decision. So the elevator is somewhere there inside, but we can't enter. Well, too bad. Let's wait for another time to go. And yeah, we have to come back to Odesa. Whatever. Well, there. Sadly, due to the war, places like Odesa Regional Philharmonic Theatre and the Odesa Archaeological Museum were closed, but this was not the case for the globally famous symbol of Odesa, the National Academic Theatre of Opera and Ballet. Ciao a tutti da Odessa. Mi sa che non c'era spazio per la Sicilia su sta mappa. Ragazzi, as the time of my stay in Odessa was ticking, I decided to keep on visiting new places and places which I found extremely curious on guides.
Il monumento Steve Jobs.
My visit continued in the city garden, where actually there are famous local statues, and of course with the famous Odesa passage.
Pazzesco sto posto. The statue of Cardinal Richelieu is hidden because, well, we're close to a Black Sea, and yeah, the Potemkin stairs, famous from a famous movie of Sergei Eisenstein. La scena della madre col bambino. No. Beh, guardiamo il lato positivo. Se la bambina cadeva giù da là col passeggino, si schiantava sul filo spinato che hanno messo per proteggere. Quindi probabilmente sarebbe già morta tipo la terza serie di scale, però vabbè, alla peggio sarebbe morta qua o sarebbe tipo rimbalzata. Puff. Vabbè, lol.
Later on, my feet, full of blisters, asked me for mercy, and that's why I decided to go to the sea.
Ah, it's fucking cold. Goodbye, Black Sea. See you next time. Possibly in Ukraine, possibly a little bit eastern.
After having been to the shore, I decided to go to a place which was recommended me from my friend Katerina, which I reached, and honestly, yeah, Katerina, that place was amazing, and thank you for having recommended me.
Time for me to go to Chisinau now. Chisinau, lel.
As I mentioned in the previous video, later on the bus to Chisinau, the terror attack from Russia happened and killed 4 people, injured 32, and killed a dog. To get back to Ukraine, precisely in Chernivtsi, and later on to get back to home in Poland, in Kraków, I had to wake up very early and get to Gara du Nord in Chisinau and get onto a bus. The point was that the bus was not there at the right time. The bus was rescheduled into Marshrutka just 1 hour and a half later. So Chernivtsi, a city which somehow I always skipped in my trips to Ukraine, probably and possibly because of its location.
So far, Chernivtsi is a fucking amazing town. I haven't expected it to be this good, but well, it's getting even better.
But honestly speaking, it was like a city I actually want to see for a very long time because I have so many friends describing it like a hidden gem that everyone probably talks about in Ukraine, but no one knows outside of it. And I have to be extremely honest, this was worth every single hryvnia. I have to be honest with you, the place I actually want to see the most in all of Chernivtsi was, of course, the Chernivtsi National University, a place which is UNESCO World Heritage Site since 2011, a place which tells a lot of the history of whoever ruled in Chernivtsi and in its region, Bukovina, a place which was found and built by Austrians, which also saw the influence in the past of Polish people, of German people. During Romanian occupation, this place was Romanized, and of course, afterwards, in the Soviet Union time, and later on in Ukraine, had its features.
This place is unreal.
The beauty of this place, from the outside and from the inside, is so amazing that now I finally understand all the comparison I read online between this place and Harry Potter's famous Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. This university, due to the different ruling forces which rule the town of Chernivtsi and the region of Bukovina, had different history when it comes to academic education. Of course, right now, the whole university is ranked to be one of the best ones in all of Ukraine, with international recognized fame, international relations, a series of well-established faculties, and very notable alumni in all of its history, representing also the different origin of the people who was ruling here in general, but also a lot of scholars who actually embark on a trip here just to study possibly in the most prestigious university of the area.
Micio. Micio. Aw. Tut, 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 tut.
пісні і заспіваю тут тобі. Чужі, я тобі так просто підвікаю.
I hate to be broad and generic, but this city amazed me so much that one day I would really love to come back here. Hopefully not to take such a long trip, because the trip you'll see later took me around 17 hours from Krakow and considering the border. But, well, I really hope deep inside of me to come back here. And here starts the return trip to Krakow. Luckily this time, not on a Marshrutka, but on a bus to Lviv. And here I am, back in Lviv. I actually just had 30 minutes in the center just to pick up some souvenirs and then rush to the border with a taxi. Actually, I had no train connection that day because it was just too late, and later I would have lost all the train connection in Poland. So that's why I decided to take a taxi. To be honest, going back home to Poland looks strange after 2 weeks between mostly Ukraine and some time in Moldova. I made this trip to meet friends, to discover or return to places, to know how was the same country I visited multiple times in the past during these current hard times, and to answer a long-lasting dilemma about a lake or a river. Spoiler, it was and it is a lake. After being crossed the border and returning into Poland, I had a series of mixed feelings both in my head and in my heart. I was sad that this whole return trip was over, because over there in Ukraine I had a great time, but also I was happy to see that despite the enormous toll and the struggles of a war provoked by Russia, Ukraine and the beautiful idea I always had about Ukraine and Ukrainians are still there. Maybe this was the confirmation somehow I kind of needed after all of this time of war, to be happy and smiling while thinking about Ukraine and Ukrainians. Like in this old movie full of stereotypes, and this character interpreted by Elijah Wood, while watching out of a window of a train or a car while driving Ukraine, maybe the lovely idea I always had about Ukrainians after so many times there was crystal clear, because everything indeed over there is illuminated.